Most people in England have access to the internet.
It is unclear exactly what has happened.
Thousands of people cross the channel every week.
Come in for a tasty snack at lunchtime.
I've done everything I can think of to help her.
These are basic human rights. Whiskey is the most well-known product of Scotland.
Participate in our regular social events.
More and more people in Britain want to live in the country.
We can make our own choices.
Working as a fashion model isn't as easy as you imagine.
The street has been closed off.
In many countries, kids start formal education around 7 years old.
It's one of my all-time favorites.
I feel guilty every time I leave.
Employers need people who have new ideas.
I'm terrible at getting myself organized.
It was a lovely day. Sophie was walking in the park when something in the bushes caught her attention. As she got closer, she realized that it was a dog. The poor creature was very dirty and so weak that it couldn't get up. Clearly, it needed help. As there was no owner about, she picked up the dog and carried it to the nearest vet's. John found a new job, so he went with his friends to the pub to celebrate. They sat around a corner table and drank and chatted and laughed until it was past midnight. Because the pub was closing, they decided to make their way home. John had been drinking far too much, so his friends walked him all the way to his front door. Oliver wanted to see a film that his classmates had been talking about, so his mum booked the cinema tickets online. When they arrived at the cinema and quickly found their seats, Oliver was feeling very happy. But when the film started, the soundtrack was so loud that their ears hurt and their heads ached. They had to leave. They complained to the ticket office and got their money back. It was a hot day in July, and Diana was on the beach with her husband and small son. They were busy building sandcastles when suddenly the sun disappeared behind a dark cloud. Soon more dark clouds had gathered, and Diana felt the first raindrops on her face. They quickly gathered their belongings and packed them into the car, feeling very disappointed. Simon had arranged a meeting with an important client, so he wanted to look his best. He went to have his hair cut, and while he sat in the barber's chair, the barber began to chat. They had not been talking long before they realized that they had known each other in the past. In fact, they had been classmates at secondary school. What a coincidence! Dory was very busy yesterday. She had invited 8 of her close friends to a dinner party. All day yesterday she was cleaning and cooking. She wanted the party to be a big success. At 7 p.m. her guests started to arrive, and by 7:30 everyone was there. So they sat down to have dinner. Her vegetarian dishes were a huge success, especially her delicious strawberry cake. They chatted and laughed long into the night. Dory didn't go to bed until 2 a.m. Why was Dory busy yesterday? Which dish did her guests like especially? What time did Dory go to bed? Ted was 40, and he had lived in rented accommodation all his life. This year he decided to build a house for his family. He chose a design that was easy and quick to construct. He bought all the materials he would need and then began the hard work. Occasionally he asked his family members for help. It took him almost a year to complete the house. It was a blue bungalow with 4 bedrooms and a large kitchen. Everyone was happy when they could finally move in. What did Ted decide to do when he was 40? What design did he choose? How long did it take him to complete the house? How many bedrooms were in the new house? Martha worked as a checkout lady in a small grocer's shop. She lived with her 2 children and found it very hard to make ends meet from her small salary. She realized that she could save a lot of money if she cooked her own meals instead of buying them ready-made. She looked up easy recipes online and bought all the basic ingredients like pasta and rice in huge bags from the Oriental shop. Her children liked her cooking, and she saved a lot of money. What was Martha's job? How did Martha decide to save money? Which ingredients did she buy in huge bags from the Oriental shop? What did her children think of her cooking? Every month, Alan took the train to visit his parents, who lived in a small country town. He usually bought his ticket from a machine on the platform, but this morning the machine was out of order. He tried the ticket office, but it was closed. He had no choice but to get on the train without a ticket. When the ticket inspector came, Alan carefully explained the situation and finally bought his ticket from the inspector. Where did Alan usually buy his train ticket? Why couldn't he buy his ticket this morning at the station? How did he buy his ticket in the end? Linda lived in a big city, and every day she took a 20-minute tram ride to work. One morning, while sitting on the tram, an elderly man got on. Linda naturally got up and offered her seat to him. He thanked her, but said he was getting off at the next stop. At that moment, the tram jerked to a standstill, and the old gentleman fell heavily on the floor. Linda tried to help him, but he couldn't get up. So she called for an ambulance and stayed with him until the ambulance arrived. How did Linda usually go to work? What did Linda do when the old man got on the tram? What happened when the tram jerked to a stop? What did Linda do when she saw the old man couldn't get up?